Scott Groves here with another mortgage mystery. This question comes to us from a potential homeowner in California who wanted to know what escrow means. And this can be very confusing. This is an important mystery to demystify. In certain states, probably about a third of the states across the United States, states for real estate transactions are considered escrow states. And escrow just comes from a French word that simply means list. And this makes sense, right? Because when you're going through a real estate transaction, the escrow company or the third party neutral company that helps pass the property from the seller to the buyer has a list of a lot of paperwork they have to get through. So some states are title states where everybody goes to the table together, they sign with some lawyers, they pass the deed and the keys across the table, and that's referred to as a title state. And we'll do a video on that, which we'll link to below. However, in an escrow state, there's a third-party vendor called an escrow company where the seller puts in all of their documentation and information. The buyer puts in all of their documentation, information, and money to buy the house. And then escrow kind of puts together this jigsaw. They fix the Rubik's Cube, and out on the other side comes a property owned by a new owner. And the reason for this, escrow states are more common in the West Coast. The reason for this is because if you think about it in the Wild West days, right? I'm a cowboy, you're a rancher, I want to buy your property. Well, I tell you that I'm going to show up with a bag of gold to buy your property, and you say that you're going to show up with the deed to your property that proves that you're the owner, and we're going to make an exchange. I'm going to give you my bag of gold, you're going to give me your deed to your house. Well, guess what? In the Wild West of a couple hundred years ago, we both show up, one person gets shot, and one person ends up with the bag of gold and the deed to the property. So in about the mid-1800s, this idea of a fiduciary or a bank or an escrow company was created where, as a neutral party, the rancher can bring in the deed to their property, the cowboy can bring in the bag of gold, and the escrow company will make sure that that is handled peacefully and that the gold gets transferred to the rancher who walks away from his property, and the deed gets transferred to the cowboy who now owns the property. So escrow is, again, a third-party entity that helps facilitate, in some states, the transfer of the property. Now, this term gets even more confusing because an impound account, aka that savings account that is attached to your mortgage, where you pay your taxes and insurance every month, and then once or twice a year, the lender pays the taxes and insurance on your behalf, that impound account, which is its correct name, is commonly referred to as an escrow account. So it gets a little confusing because there's escrow, the entity that handles the point of sale, the purchase transaction, and make sure everything is done correctly. But then as an ongoing basis, as part of your mortgage, there's this thing called an impound account, which is also sometimes referred to as an escrow account. And that's really just a misnomer or some lexicon that's worked its way into the mortgage industry and has never left the mortgage industry. So escrow you'll be working with if you decide to buy a house in an escrow state like California. They charge a third-party fee, which you and the seller will split 50-50, and they're just an important part of the real estate transaction process. If you have any more questions about the real estate transaction process or what the steps are to buy a house, our team would love to help you with a purchase mortgage or a refinance mortgage. Get in touch with us. All of our information is below. Shoot us an email, give us a call, get on our calendar. And if for some reason you're looking to buy or refinance a home in a state where we're not licensed, we can refer you to a pool of amazing loan officers we have so that you have somebody local and licensed in your area. If you're enjoying the information we're bringing to you on this channel, do me a favor, click the like button, leave a comment, subscribe on YouTube. Scott Groves Mortgage Mysteries. We love hearing from you. Let us know if there's a video we need to make and add to this channel.